Hello, guys. It's me again, Mano, your favorite boy about some camera rigs, I guess, I hope, I suppose. The thing I wanted to present you today was my version of the Cineback for the Sigma FP. As you can see, this is the whole rig. I can also, make it a bit smaller, so don't need the top handle. So basically, we are all inspired by the Cineback from the DSLR video shooter, aka Caleb Pike, which was pretty much revolutionary. I would say, I guess, in the sense of turning a DSLR camera or mirrorless camera into a framework, a body that looks pretty much like a cinema camera. And also features, cool options, mounting options for other stuff like batteries, D-tabs in general, power management. Yeah, feels a bit heavier, and also the box form, which everyone likes. We all love a box cinema camera. That's why everyone is raving about, or was raving about, the Pixels, right? So, in this case, I used the Sigma FP. As you can see, it uses a cage. Disclaimer, so basically I repeat, I will not disassemble this and reassemble the this my version of the rig. Okay, to be honest, it's not really as a Cineback, but you will see, because it's kinda somewhat permanent. I used some double-sided tape in some points to kind of fixate something, because the thing is, I can't produce custom parts. For example, the cage that I'm using is by Endure. I don't even know where to get this cage from, from a shop or something, because I bought this cage on Craigslist, or I live in Germany, so the German equivalent to Craigslist, and I just found it by chance. I wanted this one because it has this grip, so overall I have some, ergonomics going on, kinda. Then I mounted cheese plates, okay? These are the cheese plates by Smallrig, as you can see here, on the top, on the bottom, and then one on the back. As you can see, it's not aligning everything properly. Like this is the center line, this is the center line, but then you can see the back cheese plate is more on the right side, because the screw holes don't really properly align, because it's Endure and then there's a Smallrig, and I just use stuff I had. I don't have a 3D printer, or I can't make DIY parts. I just used the stuff I had, and this is what I came up with. So basically, so I had to create some space, otherwise if I just mounted the top cheese plate on top of the cage, I would not be able to press any buttons on above. So basically this has to be in cinema mode now. I cannot access properly the switch from stills to cine mode. It's always set on still, and also the power button, I have to go with my pinky into the small crevice here and switch it on. So this, of course, if I was able to make custom parts, it would have been much easier, but this works for now. So, and what else? At least record button is still accessible. This is nice. Wheel, shutter button, everything's fine. The other buttons on the side are quite okay, but then we've got this bar at the bottom. This is kind of hard to access. We have the mode buttons, tone button, color buttons. If you know the Sigma FP, then you know this is helpful. And for example, if you want to display review your footage, you have to press the button here on the left side. This is kind of has become muscle memory to me. I kind of know where the all the buttons are that I need. That's why I got accustomed to this build. But yeah, so basically, as you can see, it still has its downsides, but overall it's pretty cool, because what I then added is just, you know, cheese plate on the top, cheese plate on the bottom, cheese plate on the back, of course for a battery plate, a V-mount battery plate, so I can mount my V-mount battery. This is just, of course, really great. And in my opinion, if you want to mount a V-mount battery plate, you can of course use one that is just mechanical, if that's the proper term for it, just mechanical, in which you just mount the thing. But I wanted a V-mount battery plate that also offers like several extension options, how to say, splitting options. For example, I wanted a D-tap, so this is a D-tap here, D-tap port. Then also USB is a USB-C port, right? Pretty easy stuff. And then you have these barrel connectors, which I don't use. I'm not too great of a fan of these because, to be honest, I'm always afraid of voltage stuff, getting the wrong voltage into the wrong plug and then maybe frying and burning something. That's why I don't mess with these. But like, for example, standard stuff, you know, D-tap is standard. You know that if you put a D-tap into a D-tap port, connected to a D-tap port, you know it's going to work for my USB as well. And then what I did was also adding, you know, thin cheese plates. I don't know if you can see this properly. Thin cheese plates on the sides, and on the right side I added a splitter for D-tap, so I can mount several power several other auxiliary equipment, like the monitor. On the other side, this is the SSD holder, because I like to film in Cinema DNG, and for Cinema DNG you need a lot of space. I don't even film in 4K with the Sigma FP because the files are so huge and it's so cumbersome to deal with them. That's why I just use 1080p. So I just use, you know, the standard Samsung T5 SSDs, and you just slot them here with the port on top. Okay, and then I have the USB cable here, and just slot it in, and then you're good to go. Oh. Yes, so basically that's the thing. So yeah, this is basically the standard options that you have, and of course, as you have seen before, this is the top handle I use with it. For the top handle, I have the NATO rail. I have the Smallrig flat NATO rail, also with the 15mm rod mount option. I have it on here, bam, and then you have your top handle. So, and another thing is at the bottom I have an Arri Rosette mount. Basically, if you want to add another handle, another side handle, you can do that there. For example, this one from Nitze is pretty nice because it fits really well and you can angle it. So you have a nice grip on the left side, which is really great. Yes. And then sometimes, if I feel like it, I use, this is also from Smallrig. This is like a NATO rail handle, wooden handle. I like wooden handles, but this one I actually got pretty cheap. Now they're kind of more expensive, but I found it on AliExpress. It was pretty cheap. Now it's the listing isn't there anymore, and it just slides into the right side, and then I have like nice grips to support the camera. So this is for the ergonomics part. So another cool thing. Okay, and one thing, because of course the bottom, the screw holes for like a Manfrotto plate does not align with the screw holes from the cheese plate I mounted at the bottom, because not everything aligns properly. I had to mount another cheese plate here at the bottom to kind of, you know, get the proper placement. This to place it first, and then after that I was able to mount a cheese plate. And the cool thing, I want to show you this. Okay, I don't have much room here, guys. I'm really sorry. This cheese plate is really nice. Okay, wait. Okay, so, one sec. It's really nice because not only is it a cheese plate, which is great, but then you can use this. It has this lever which you can extend to to elongate it. To be honest, I'm not really sure why you would use that, but maybe it comes in handy. Hasn't become handy for me until now. But the thing is, this is part of another set. I will show it you right now because I can't remember which set it was. But it was a set with this swivel V-mount thingy for the back. So you can technically mount this here. Then you have a V-mount plate that you can swivel. But the thing is, why this is so great is the front. Okay. In the front, you can see it has 2 screw holes, and these screw holes, on that you can mount these 15 millimeter rod connectors thingy. So you can just screw them to the front, so you don't have to use a thick base plate, except if you want to mount something in the back. But if you only want to mount something in the front, maybe a follow focus or a matte box that use rails instead of screws onto the lens. This is a very elegant option. It keeps your rig really rather small. It's not too tight, not too high, but you can still mount something at the front. Okay, wait. Okay, so for example, what I typically use with this rig are these 15 millimeter rods, and they're so great. Why they're great? Because they're since I am only mounting the rods to the front, they're short enough to be useful for for example, a follow focus for your lens. Okay, and then that's another thing. That's something the one guy from Cine Dailies, the YouTube channel Cine Dailies, I think, said in his video when he was talking about a run and gun rig for his Blackmagic Pocket for the 6K Pro, was that he likes to use rods in the front, even though he doesn't really use a follow focus or something or mounts anything, just for the protection of the lens if he puts the camera on the ground. For example, if you go like this and if you just put your camera or your rig into onto the ground, and there's something here that would maybe damage your lens, you have the rods as like a last line of support. And I really like this kind of thinking, especially when a more kind of type of run and gun shooter that is like always on the go and doesn't really have a, you know, those cine saddles or these pillows. I don't have those. I'd like to get my hand on those because they look really cool. That's why I really like that. I like this option. We've got basically a base plate, but a really, really, really thin one. I mean, this is mainly aesthetics, but yeah, it's really great to keep it compact, and also it fits in a bag much more easily. I can just put this in my camera bag. Maybe I show. No, probably I don't know if I can show it to you because space is limited, guys. Here, space is limited. But without the rods, I can just put this into my camera bag and just, you know, even with the top handle, and just can put it in and then put it out. For a bigger camera, this is not possible, but it's so great to just have a compact rig, put it into your bag, and then you just put it out and maybe attach the lens, maybe just a battery, lens, and maybe a monitor, and that's it. You don't have to pretty much rig everything out, but you still have the benefits of a bigger rig, because this is pretty balanced by holding, and feels also great. You can push it against your body and stuff, all the cool stuff that you can do with a nicer with a bigger camera. Also, it's weighted great for more stable shots and stuff, especially when you use a top handle. Okay, of course I know lens and stuff, but it's pretty much weighted here, so that's great. Okay, first of all, pros. Of course, you've got a more box-like camera, which looks, in my opinion, looks really cool. I later show footage of how it looks like fully rigged, and it's nicer, of course, for more stable shots, because it's heavier, more functionality. You can have several powering options with the D-tab, which is really nice, and ergonomics-wise, is really great with the handles. Multiple support mounting options for handles, better ergonomics. Also, you know, it's robust. You know, also with the protection of the rails for your lenses, it's robust and stuff. And it looks cool, of course, it will look cool. But first, annoying things about the Sigma FP. First of all, I love the Sigma FP. Great camera, so compact by itself. And the menu, it might be a bit, the learning curve might be a bit steep with the menu and stuff, UI, but you get used to it. And sometimes you just, even though you Google certain options or functions, you still have problems to find them. At least it was for me. For example, the option to mirror the display here onto your external monitor. This is kind of weird sometimes, you know. But another thing is is it called I/O? The plug options. You have a you have your mic port. Hopefully you can see that. You have your mic jack. Then your HDMI port, which is micro HDMI, and of course your USB-C cable. I don't want to remove this because it's now really great and it's solid and stuff. I don't want to mess with it now. So my main gripe is pretty much any camera that uses micro HDMI. To be honest, I've come to hate micro HDMI. I destroyed several cables with micro HDMI because it's maybe my own fault, because I didn't think of it, but I didn't use always cable clamps. And sometimes for some rigs, for some cages, you don't have the luxury of having like proprietary or perfectly fitting cable clamps, and you have to use what you have, right? And then it not only looks bad, but it also is kind of weird in general. To unveil the micro HDMI port, you've got this flap thingy loose now, and as you can see, here's the micro HDMI port. And what I do is use another cable, extender cable, which is also not the best, probably not the most elegant option. And then I use this. I hope this will not break on me. Oh god, guys, I hate micro HDMI. This, and then it feeds to here. Then I have full-size HDMI here, which is much easier to use, of course. And then I use a short cable for the monitor. For the monitor, and I can just see everything correctly and properly, because of course I can't see anything here down here. So this is my main gripe with the Sigma FP itself. Other than that, yeah, specs wise, dynamic range is fine. It's of course highlights, as we know, highlights aren't too great. It's kind of the weakness of it, but low light performance is pretty nice, better than, of course, I have Sony APS-C cameras, better than those. Then the fact that you can use Cinema DNG, guys. Cinema DNG is so cool. Yeah, to be honest, I wish I could just never look back, but Then another thing is the amount of space it requires. The file sizes are huge, which is always kind of annoying. But yeah, that's why I only shoot 1080p. But other than that, I really like this setup. However, kind of as a final verdict, would I recommend it? No. Definitely not. This was kind of fun tinkering. The thing is, as I mentioned before, it's not really reversible. I use double-sided tape here on this side, and then I can reverse it, but it's so tedious, and I don't really want to do it anymore. And I'm fine with, you know, my Sigma FP being now a rigged out cinema cam. Basically, that's in first place the reason why I bought the Sigma FP in the first place, right? I did not want to take photos and stills with it. I didn't think of it as a stills camera. From the beginning when I bought it, I wanted to use it as a full frame guys, full frame cinema camera that could shoot 4K, but I won't use 4K. To be honest, I'm totally fine with 1080p. But yeah, so basically what I would suggest, the thing is, Will van Tagen, the fanboy of Blackmagic Pocket OG and the Blackmagic Micro, he is currently also developing new cage for the Sigma FP. He's done one for the Pocket OG and also for the Pocket Micro, the Blackmagic Micro, but he's also working on a cage for the Sigma FP, which most likely will have better mounting options as this Andua cage, which I use. So probably if you decide, or if you're crazy enough to do the Cineback wannabe thing on your own, like me, I probably would use the cage. Would wait for the cage from Will van Tagen, and then see how it works. And also then maybe Caleb Pike, you know, this DSLR video shooter, might come out with a new Cineback, a proper Cineback, not mine, not like mine, a really proper Cineback that is much more efficient and modular. Maybe that could also make use of the back screen, and also it's just, you know, easier to use. You don't have to use a pinky to get into the on and off switch. I would rather wait for those guys to make something good than, I don't know, make something like me. This is fun. This is definitely fun to use, but to get here was really tedious and stressful. I tried this took it wasn't just, you know, I had the parts and then I just went through until I get here. It was, you know, a lot of testing, getting parts, buying parts, and then getting frustrated because it didn't really work out how I imagined it would work out. I spent plenty of money just trying out parts. To be honest, I'm not much of a sending back kind of guy, for example with Amazon. And also, you know, I also got things from AliExpress, and, you know, shipping something or sending something back on AliExpress to me is kind of crazy, if I'm being honest. Always kind of iffy with those sellers. I never done that. I sent back on Amazon, which was always fine because Amazon, that's why they're so big. But on AliExpress, I'm not familiar with that. So this was a lot of testing, getting the right parts. So I would not recommend it. But yeah, but do what you want. I just don't recommend it. I don't want to be, you know, liable if anything happens to your precious Sigma FP. Other than that, if you want to see something I shot with this setup, then check out my other channel. It's called Mendacium Films. I recently released a video about video game handhelds, and I used this rig to shoot it. And it was really fun. And I also used the vintage lenses. Maybe I will talk about vintage lenses soon. Yeah, I used Canon FDs. Well, yes, so basically that's it. Check out my video. I can put links to the parts I used in the description if you're really interested. But guys, again, I don't recommend this build. You can't. It's probably hard to even replicate it yourself, getting the parts right, because it's kind of frustrating. Wait for the cool guys, the big boys, to make proper stuff. Yeah. So I mentioned Will von Tagen, Caleb Pike, and also shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Cole from Old Cine, formerly known as IMCE. But you know, this guy also revolutionary with his inventions and stuff. So I kind of felt as well, you know, and all those guys coming up with new rigs and new stuff. And so that's why this was the result. I kind of wanted to create something myself, which is kind of this. I don't want to say abomination because I really like it, but yeah, this let their inventor spirit got me hooked on building this, guys. Yeah, final thoughts. As I said, I don't recommend building this yourself. Suggest waiting until the big boys make something for the Sigma FP, because the Sigma FP is an awesome camera. Yeah, and if you want to see how great the Sigma FP is, check out my latest short film on the YouTube channel Mendacium Films. Okay, that's it. Thanks. Bye. Okay guys, before I end the video, I just found out there's actually someone who already designed a Cineback for the Sigma FP. And they seem to be using the Niceyrig cage. And well, yeah, so you can just ask them instead of trying to replicate my messy design. It looks really nice, also with the flip screen mod from Dark Power Labs. Everyone knows Dark Power Labs on YouTube, if you know the Sigma FP, of course. Looks really slick. Yeah, really nice. Yep. So this is just the last info. Just wanted to let you know there's already a nice design, a nice Cineback design for the Sigma FP. Oh, even you can fold the screen down. Okay. Cool. Okay, that's it. Bye.